to the Rocky Strong Broadcasting Network, bringing to you another story based on true events. Now, these stories may or may not be true. Some truth may be in these stories, but can't never tell. You know, this stuff happened a long time ago, and my memory's not all that great, to be honest with you. I don't even remember who it really happened to, if you dig. But anyhow, let's get into this, boys. This was a long time ago, man. I was about to get locked up. I was going to jail, so my mental was pretty stressed. Like, it was pretty much a lock. Like, my old lady was thinking that maybe we was going to be able to finagle something out, but I knew for sure that it was... I knew for sure what time it was, right? So, we were still messing up, man. We were still in the game, you know. And, to say I was stressed and my temper was short would be an understatement. Everything was setting me off, man. And I felt like I had nothing to lose, you know. I felt like no matter what I did, it wasn't going to make no difference because I was already getting locked up regardless. What was a couple more months if something bad happened, you know. That was basically my thought process. Well, we had met this girl, and she was, you know, looking out for us. She was making the runs to go get the stuff to keep us healthy, you know, keep me well, you know. Well, we couldn't get a hold of her. She was in the hospital. She said, I talked to my brother. You know, I told my brother who y'all are and not, you know, not to mess around, but to help y'all out. And that old Rocky was probably not the best one to mess around with. Now, if she really said that, really told him that, then, you know, that's what it is. Now, whether or not that happened or not, they could have been like, this dude's a mark. They always got loot. Whatever, I don't know, you know. Well, we had been calling around. We couldn't do nothing. So, we finally hit old boy up, even though we didn't really know him that well. We headed down to go meet him. Well, first of all, we should have known better because, you know, he'd been kind of messing around all day. Like, give me like 30 minutes. Give me 45 minutes, right? So, obviously, you know, we should have known better. But he said he was waiting for somebody. And we knew that he was staying with old boy, right? Finally, he says, all right, I got a ride and everything. Come meet me down here. So we go meet him. And this is the first time, you know, like I said. And not to grandize this or anything, because this was a time in my life, man, that was terrible, man. I was at the bottom of my self-esteem. I was at the bottom of doing right. You know, I was definitely doing wrong. There was a whole lot of things going on out there that just, you know, were not who I was, you know. But at the same time, man, like, you know, there's this drive to always make sure that you're not going to be sick, man, you know. And that really affects the person you are, regardless of who you are. I've done things that were kind of wild, but I never did hurt nobody, you know. And I always kind of, like, I might not bring the whole thing back, but I never just straight rip somebody off, you know. Well, apparently his sister told him not to rip me off, that I wasn't going to just, you know, lay down if he did, right? Now, whether or not that happened or not, who knows, right? Well, my old lady, you know, she calls him or whatever, and we go meet him. Well, they go to taking off, and I'm looking, and it's like, totally not good, man. The whole deal's bad, right? So we start calling him immediately. I say, start calling him. I back out, right? And I start speeding to the light to catch up to him, right? Well, he takes off. I'm like, dang. Well, he don't know I'm after him. They think like, oh, he's just going to call, right? He ain't, you know. Well, next thing you know, I'm behind him. Well, I see the dude looking at his phone just hanging it up, right? Well, eventually they find out. They look behind them and they see that we're behind them, right? Now, like I said, man, I felt like I was at the end of the road, you know. I felt like it didn't really matter what I did. So, the guy was trying to get back to his house, obviously, but he didn't want to have me follow him back to his crib. You know what I mean? So I'm chasing him down. I mean, I don't want to get into specifics, but we were definitely making moves through the city that probably weren't, you know, we were definitely doing things in the vehicles that we probably shouldn't have been. You know what I mean? But I went through a parking lot. He tried to roll stop me and all this other stuff, and he tried to stop and then wait for me to get out, but I wouldn't get out. I waited for them to get out, and he wouldn't get out, so they took off again. Well, next thing you know, he pulls over. He's finally done with it. I'm done messing around. I'm going to pull on over, right? Well, old boy, he pulls over, and I jump out. And I wasn't just going to take it, man. You know, this dude, like I said, man, I've told stories on here before where, you know, I've been beat, you know, and that ain't no lie, man. In the game, you're going to get beat from time to time. Now, that's just the truth of it. If you want to lose money, that's the best place to do it, man. But, yeah, he wasn't going to have me follow him back to the house, and he was tired of running through town, so he finally pulls over. Well, he jumps out. What are you doing? I jump out. I said, listen, man, old boy in that car is going to give me my money back he took from me. And he said, I ain't got nothing to do with that. I said, the only thing you got to do with this really is that he's in your car. Tell him to give my money back and we'll go on our own ways, you know. And he said, well, I don't know nothing about it. I said, yeah, well, regardless of that, brother. Well, old boy gets out the car, right? So now me and him's arguing. The dude's arguing. Now, these two boys, they're pretty small, right? I'm a big boy, like I said, man. Back in the day, too, I was probably running, even though I was, you know, strung out, I was still probably running like 220, something like that. You know, fat, not muscular at all. Laying around, nodding out and shit, you know, living a terrible lifestyle. But I wasn't just going to take it, you know. Old boy was going to make it right, one way or another. Well, now it's two of them, right? Even though they're small dudes. Now listen to me here. You got two of them now. So now I got my hands full, right? Because I only got two hands and I got two dudes, right? So I'm figuring, well, look here, boys. We're going to even this out. So I start walking back to the truck. And he's like, yeah, that's right. Fat boy, you better go on back to your truck and get out of here. Well, what he should have done was just loaded back up and took off, you know. But it would have just ensued another pursuit. But anyway, I'm going back to the truck to grab a piece of pipe out the back of the bed of the truck. You heard? That's what it is. I'm going to even the score up here. It's two of y'all. Well, it's going to be two of me, you heard? I grab that pipe out of the back and come up out of there, right? Well, this time he sees me coming back with that pipe, right? He jumps in the trunk of his car and pulls out one of them tire knockers. You know, it's got like that metal tip on the end of it. Guys use it to check their tires on big trucks. So he pulls that thing out like, all right. And I said, yeah, all right, come on, man. Let's do this thing. Let's dance, bunny. We're out here in the middle of the road. Let's do this, man. Cars are going by. Like, it's in the middle of this neighborhood, right? Cars are going by. People are looking at us like, what is going on here? There's two dudes out in the middle of the road. One dude's got a pipe. The other dude's got a stick. You know what I'm saying? Finally, dude's like, man, I ain't trying to go to jail. I said, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to jail either way, dog. That's what it is. So let's do this, man. Either that dude's coming out of his pocket or we going to get it down. You know what I'm saying? Well, finally, dude's like, man, let me see what he gave you, right? And like, it's kind of like tempering down, right? Well, little do I know, my old lady's watching the girl that's in the car. She's calling for backup. Hey, so-and-so's over here. Done messed up. Got old boy up on us and everything, right? I don't know this, right? But the old lady, she's watching that. While I'm like, you know, talking to the two dudes, right? And old boy's trying to like, no. And I'm like, yeah, definitely, man. Look at this. This is garbage. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you doing to me here? Well, I just wasn't gonna go for it, man. You know, I mentally broke to the point where it was just like, man, I don't care anymore, you know? And, you know, I was already figuring I was gonna have to lay it down, so what difference does it make if I had to lay it down a little bit longer, you know? So, well, luckily, old boy was like, listen, go up there to the gas station and wait, and I'll come up there and make it right. And I'm like, come on, man. What am I, stupid, right? Like, I ain't never been here before. But at this time, man, it kind of like, you know, squelched back down. So, you know, at this point, the old lady's like, let's just get out of here before the cops come and blah, 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 you know. So I pull off away from there, get on out of there, and then go sit in the parking lot close to where I was at, just waiting, you know, like a dummy. The cops could have came then, could have came to the gas station and seen me, because, you know, description of the vehicles, all that, you know what I mean? Who knows what could have happened, right? But my dumb ass sits there, and dude ends up showing back up, man. It was crazy as hell. I would have never thought he would have, but I guess he probably called and then found out, like, it wasn't going to just, you know, like, it wasn't just going to be over, you know? And after the fact, man, I thought about it, and I was like, man, that was such a crazy situation to be in. Like, you know, and most of the time, dude's not going to have a stick. You figure he's probably going to have Billy Western hop out the car, and next thing you know, I'm laid out in the middle of the street, you know? Or the cops show up, we got sticks out and shit, and next thing you know what I mean? You never can tell, man. You never can tell when you get in those situations, man. It's the best thing is to not get in that kind of situation. Everything I did from the time that started, calling somebody you don't know, all that, you know what I mean? From the very get-go, it was all bad. And the reason it was all bad is because it was connected to doing something that wasn't righteous to begin with, you know what I mean? And that's what I found, man, is that the more righteous stuff I do, the more righteous people I'm around, the more I try to stay away from any kind of element that has anything to do with, you know, these controlled substances, man. They're just not, I don't want to say, you know, exact words for the video and for YouTube's, you know what I mean? But y'all know what I'm talking about, man. And we've lost too many good guys to this, man. We lost too many good women to this, man. Too many moms, too many dads, too many brothers, too many uncles, too many sisters, too many aunts, uncles, grandmas, you know what I mean? Grandpas. It's crazy, man. It's crazy, man. And it's not getting no better, man. But I just want to tell a little story out of, you know, like, you know, I've been told a couple stories about being beaten, not really, you know, but those guys I knew. I didn't really know these people, you know? So I flipped out. And, it was not good, man. Everything I did was wrong that day. You know, everything about it was wrong. I could have definitely added a lot more time. Assault with a weapon, if that was a real story, you know, all that, man. Menacing. It would have definitely been, you know, a couple things there probably if you would have gotten in a situation like that and the law would have had to been involved, you know, intervene. But luckily, cooler heads prevailed, I guess. Whatever you say. But yeah, old boy wouldn't talk to me after that. Like, he let my old lady come and meet up with him, but yeah, he would not talk to me after. He didn't want to meet me after that. Needless to say, I kind of understood that a little bit, you know. Well, anyhow, y'all, I just want to jump on and do a little short video for today. I didn't do much. We went to the gym and worked out, and sorry, I keep hitting the thing here. I just wanted to hop on and do a little video with y'all, man. Something to upload and for y'all to watch. A little story time that may or may not be true based on true events, not actual events. Some of those things didn't really happen. I've never jumped out of a vehicle or anything like that in the middle of the road. That'd be crazy. Alright, y'all. Look, I'm going to jump off here, y'all. Bicycle.